Okay, so now, listen, I live in the South here, Pat. So, we don't have Kroger here. We have different grocery stores. It just depends on where you live around the country and around the world. But I know this is a story about sports betting in the future at Kroger, but this is probably even a bigger story when you think of all the opportunities that different companies and different markets will have in person to have kiosks to be able to bet. But this is something that piqued my interest.
So this is something I wanted to talk about today just because it kind of reminded me of Las Vegas. Have you ever been to a grocery store in Nevada or a gas station or the airport?
I'm trying to think if I have or not. I'm gonna say I don't recall. I know the airport has the slots. I know that.
So that was one of the big things that stuck out to me when I moved to Las Vegas was you go grocery shopping and there's a room full of slot machines right by
Hmm.
the cashiers. And my thought first was, well, why in the world would anybody go bet at the grocery store? Who knows? I didn't. I never did. But so when I saw the headline come across that there's going to be 40 some Krogers in Ohio that are pre-qualified for sports betting, it kind of struck me as like, well, that's odd. And then I go, well, sure. If you're just shopping and you're like, maybe I need to place a bet, you can go ahead and do that. And there's lots of there's more than 100 some retailers in Ohio that are also pre-qualified for these kiosks. They're betting kiosks, um, and they're in smaller communities that might not have a big casino for a nice retail sports book, and maybe people aren't comfortable with placing a bet on their phone. And so it's a convenience factor. And you're right, it is going to be something you start to see more and more, in Kansas, which we were just talking about before we came on air. Casinos can partner with it's up to 50
Hmm.
retailer outlets. And so you could see something similar there. And it's been in legislation all over the country. And you'll start to see it more and more. I imagine even in Louisiana, we'll see the Louisiana Lottery partnering with a sports book provider soon for kiosks
Sure.
in retailers, a lot, often bars and restaurants. We've heard potentially in Buffalo Wild Wings or something, you have a kiosk, which that makes a ton of sense. Now, will it take up much market share? Very unlikely. We've gone over it many times, but in most mature markets that are online and have online and brick and mortar, online is greater than 90% market share. And I don't see that changing just because a grocery store has some kiosks for people to place bets. But it's kind of a fun idea, and again, coming from somewhere that had slot machines in a place I didn't expect them to be, I expect people would probably use them.
Yeah, no, I think so. And by the way, Pat, drinking and betting, those don't go hand in hand, right? Wink, wink. Sure.
No, not at
Yeah.
all.
Not at all. Right. Not at all. Don't put those in liquor stores either, by the way.